Morning. Good morning. It's DurgaMata. I've got a bit of a rough voice today, but somehow we'll get through. So, today is Sunday, the 17th of May, and I'm going to start with a poem, and I'm going to choose poems about breath because I'm doing another breathing exercise today. You will notice that Bella has decided she wants to take part in the live, and that will complicate things slightly. I just dropped the book with the poem written in it. I can reach it. Good girl, Bella. Good girl. Good girl. Yes, you can sit there. So I'm going to be doing a breathing exercise which is recommended by my spiritual teacher. So I was looking for a poem that he's written about breath, and I found 3. Imagine God's breath and try to breathe in and out with God's breath. This will definitely expedite your inner speed. A breath of my kindness God likes. A breath of my soulfulness God appreciates. A breath of my selflessness God loves. Breathe in beauty, breathe out fragrance, to live a God-treasured life. All by Sri Chinmoy. So that's the poem, and the next is the bit of nature. I love to share something from nature every day, and I'm sharing a leaf. Well, that doesn't sound very exciting until you see it. It's a horse chestnut leaf from in my garden. And this horse chestnut tree has grown without being planted. It's self-sown. And its leaves are so magnificent, you can see from this one. And I didn't mind taking a leaf off it because it's actually growing far too close to the house. I will have to cut it back down to about the height of a hedge, like about waist height. Instead of now, it's going nearly as tall as the house. But I love the way that the trees bring oxygen into the world and breathe, like they take away our carbon dioxide and they give us oxygen. So I encourage all the leaves I can get in my garden. My garden's quite a wild garden. So we've had the poem and we've had the nature. We've also got the crazy cat. And now to the mindfulness exercise. And I'm going to do a breathing exercise, and I'll read, if I can move my phone slightly. That wasn't very clever. My phone was resting on my laptop, and I made it fall over. Now I'm holding it so it'll shake a bit. Proper breathing. This is Sri Chinmoy writing about breathing. Proper breathing is very important in meditation. When breathing, try to breathe in as slowly and quietly as possible. And when you breathe out, try to breathe out even more slowly than when you breathed in. If possible, leave a short pause between the end of your first inhalation and your second, between the end of your first exhalation and the beginning of your second inhalation. If you can, hold your breath for a few seconds, but if it's difficult, do not do it. Never do anything that would harm your organs or respiratory system. My voice is bad because yesterday was the big Palestine Solidarity March. And I took my cards that I'm selling and I set them up on the ground under an archway because it was raining, a little bit away from the end of the race where people were leaving. And I was selling them there for 4.5 hours. And I kept on calling out, Come and see my cards, all hand painted on silk, raising money for Gaza, and I did that for 4.5 hours, so I've got very little voice today. And lots of frogs. Okay, to get back to the exercise. Now, we're going to do the actual mindfulness exercise now. So I always like to start off by reminding people what is mindfulness, why it's important, and then how there are 2 types of mindfulness and how to prepare for the one that I'm going to do. So what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is an exercise that everyone can practice. And there are 2 wings to the mindfulness bird. The first wing is, Bella's got off now, that's good. The first wing is you bring your attention here and now to this moment in time. You notice what it's like to be me here and now. Whatever's going on, whatever the circumstances are, you bring your attention to here and now. So you need, if you're doing this exercise, this type of exercise, you need to bring your attention to this moment and try to find somewhere that's a little bit quiet and peaceful that you can concentrate. And the second wing to the mindfulness bird is your attitude. And the attitude is kindly, considerate, compassionate, loving yourself, loving whatever you discover, and kind of scientific attention, real curiosity, almost focused curiosity. So it's very alert. And the attitude is without any criticism or judgment. So you've got the bringing your attention to here and now, what you're doing, where you are, what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and with an attitude of kindliness and self-love and no criticism and no judgment. So that's what mindfulness is. And before I start, there are 2 types of mindfulness. I say the mindfulness bird can sit in its nest or it can go flying. Sitting in its nest means you take time out, maybe 2 minutes or 5 minutes, 10 or 15 if you can manage that long. And you just take your attention in that 15 minutes or 2 minutes to where you are and what you're doing and what it's like to be here and now. Me. It's almost like stepping outside of yourself and looking at yourself in a kind of observational way with curiosity and kindliness. So that's when the mindfulness bird is sitting in its nest. And the other type of mindfulness, when the bird's flying, is taking your attention to the moment, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And you can use your 5 senses. You can be washing your face in the morning and noticing the wetness of the water and the sound of it and what the splashes look like. Or you might be taking your attention to where you're walking, the sound of your footsteps and the feeling of your movement of your body as you walk. And you can take your mindfulness attitude to any activity. The wonderful thing is it's completely free. You can do it anywhere and it doesn't cost anything. And the benefit is that you're rewiring your brain in a positive way. You're reducing your stress and you're increasing the density of your neocortex, which is the command center of your brain. And you can think of mindfulness a bit like lifting weights in a gym. You want to have strong muscles, you need to lift weights regularly. If you want to rewire your brain in a positive way, denser neocortex, more cells and more connections in your brain, which is connected with command and creativity and all the positive things. That's what happens with mindfulness. And at the same time, the amygdala, which deals with stress, reduces in size because you're reducing your stress. So much of our stress comes from our mind and our thoughts. If we're here and now in the moment, there are few stresses just here and now in the moment. But when something stressful does happen, we remember it and our mind goes back to it and we bring all that stress from the past into the present moment. Or we worry about the future And all the stress that hasn't even happened, that we're imagining, we bring it into the present moment. So when you practice mindfulness and you keep your attention here and now focused on where you are and what you're doing, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, that is a peaceful place. It tends to be less stressful, particularly because you're in command of it. And the more time you can spend doing that, the less stress is in your life. So that's the outline of mindfulness. And now I'm coming to do an exercise, a breathing exercise. I'm going to be basing it on something that my spiritual teacher wrote about breathing. And before I start, I'm going to find a quiet place where I can sit peacefully for 10 or 15 minutes. Make sure I'm sitting comfortably, that my back is upright. Imagine there's a thread from the top of your head. There's a thread stretching up and holding your head up towards the ceiling or the sky, so that your back is upright, because the energies that flow when you practice meditation or mindfulness flow in your spine, and it needs to be as upright as possible without being tense. So I'm sitting with the back of the bed behind me, so I've got support for my back. I'm fairly upright. Bella's gone to sleep by my feet rather than climbing on me, which is very good. And now I'm going to just give my body, this is my habit, I give my body a bit of a stretch and a twist, just so that the body knows I'm taking care of it and it's not going to bother me so much when I'm trying to sit still. Then I take my attention to my breath. And I notice the inhale and the exhale. Make it gentle and peaceful. The stress already starting to evaporate. And then I come to the exercise I'm going to be doing today. The first thing that you have to think of when breathing is purity. When you breathe in, if you feel that the breath is coming directly from God, from purity itself, then your breath can easily be purified. Again, I apologize for my voice. I almost lost it completely yesterday because I was selling my cards and calling out to people who were leaving from the Palestine Solidarity March. I was calling out, come and see my beautiful cards. They're handmade, hand-painted on silk, raising money for families I know in Gaza. And now I'm left with almost no voice. Oh, did you notice? My mind moved away from my breathing exercise. So I noticed it and I brought it back again. That's what mindfulness is. It's being aware, noticing when your mind goes away from the exercise and smiling at it. It's a playful exercise, mindfulness. You're not stressed. You're not judging. There's no judgment or criticism, just observation. So I'm bringing my attention back to the exercise. The first thing that you have to think of when breathing is purity. When you breathe in, if you can feel the breath is coming directly from God, from purity itself, then your breath can easily be purified. So when I do this exercise, as I inhale, I imagine my breath, I'm breathing in purity from the breath of God. And as I exhale, I'm offering gratitude. So we'll do that for 3 breaths. Breathing in purity, holding the breath for a moment or two. It's called retention. And exhaling gratitude. If you make your exhale longer than your inhale, you turn down the volume of stress in your brain. So breathing in purity, hold, exhale gratitude to God for all the blessings, all the blessings for the universe itself, for life itself, for being here with a phone, able to connect with Bayan in Gaza, and Cheryl and Rathnor and Lisa. How lovely to meet you here. Breathing in purity from God's breath, and exhaling gratitude, gratitude to the universe, gratitude to nature. And then each time you breathe in, try to feel that you're bringing into your body peace, infinite peace. The opposite of peace is restlessness. When you breathe out, try to feel you're expelling the restlessness within you. Hang on a minute, my laptop's just gone on to pause, so I've got to get it back. Taking my attention back to the exercise. Then each time you breathe in, try to feel that you're bringing into your body peace, infinite peace. The opposite of peace is restlessness. When you breathe out, try to feel that you're expelling the restlessness within you and all the restlessness that you see around you. When you breathe this way, you'll find restlessness leaving you. After practicing this for a few times, please try to feel, wait a minute, we've got to practice that for a few times. So we're going to breathe in peace and breathe out restlessness. The restlessness within and the restlessness all around. And you can do this for yourself, for your friends and family, for all the world. So breathing in peace, hold and breathe out restlessness, whatever you think of as restlessness. Breathing in peace, breathing out restlessness. Breathing in peace, hold and exhale restlessness. You'll notice I sometimes close my eyes to concentrate. After practicing this for a few times, please try to feel that you're breathing in power from the universe. And when you exhale, feel that all your fear is coming out of your body. Breathing in power. And breathing out all the fear, insecurity, and weakness. Exhale longer than the inhale. Breathing in power, strength and power, physical, emotional, spiritual. And exhaling all the weakness and fear. And for a last time, breathing in, power, strength, confidence, courage, and exhaling all the fear, the weakness, the noises the cats are making. Exhale slow, little pause, and then respond by reading the next one. After doing this a few times, try to feel that what you're breathing in is joy, infinite joy, and what you're breathing out is sorrow, suffering, sadness, and melancholy. Breathing in, and remember to breathe from your diaphragm. You can put your hand on your tummy. Make sure you're filling your lungs fully using your diaphragm. You should feel your tummy swell out a bit like a balloon as you inhale. So breathing in joy, infinite joy. Breathe in full of joy. Fill your lungs. Hold and expel all sorrow, suffering, pain, sadness, and melancholy. All of it. Then again, inhale joy. Joy, happiness, delight, beauty. Hold and exhale all sorrow and suffering. Hi, Suzanne. Just doing a breathing exercise. And now I'm going to suggest we go through all of those again in your own time with your own breath. The first thing you have to think about when breathing is purity. When you breathe in, if you can feel, the breath is coming directly from God, from purity itself, then your breath can easily be purified. And as you exhale, I like to exhale gratitude to God, gratitude to the universe. Then each time you breathe in, try to feel you're bringing into your body peace, infinite peace. The opposite of peace is restlessness. When you breathe out, try to feel that you're expelling the restlessness within and also the restlessness that you see all around you. When you breathe this way, you'll find restlessness leaving you. And I was saying, I like to do this for myself, breathing in peace and breathing out my own restlessness. Then I like to do it to breathe in peace for all my friends and family members and breathe out all their restlessness, all the things that may be bothering them. And then I like to do it for the world, especially for Gaza, because that's where my heart is these days. Breathing in peace, breathing out restlessness, breathing in peace, filling my lungs with peace, and exhaling all restlessness. After practicing this for a few times, please try to feel that you're breathing in power from the universe. And when you exhale, feel that all your fear is coming out of your body. Again, breathing in power, strength, confidence, courage for myself. Breathing out all my own fears and insecurities, worries, anything that's negative, anything that's taking away my strength. My other cat, Misty, has come up. My mind getting distracted, bring it back to the exercise. No criticism or judgment. Breathing in power. And when you exhale, feel all the fear is coming out of your body. Breathing in power for myself. Exhaling all my worries, all my weakness. Then breathing in power for all my friends and family members. Exhaling all the sadness or weakness or fear they may be feeling. When you're doing this on your own, just spend whatever time you want. And finally, breathing in power and strength and confidence and courage for all the world. And exhaling all the suffering and sorrow, all the sadness, all the melancholy. Make the exhale longer than the inhale to turn down the stress levels. And after doing this a few times, try to feel that what you're breathing in is joy, infinite joy, and what you're breathing out is sorrow, suffering, and melancholy. Infinite joy, happiness. Oh, my laptop gone paused again. Putting in the password, and it's back. Bringing my attention back to my exercise. No criticism or judgment. Being here and now in the moment with an attitude of kindliness, self-love, compassion, no criticism or judgment. That's the essence of mindfulness. Breathing in joy, exhaling sorrow and suffering. Hold and exhale. There is another thing that you can also try. Feel that you're breathing in not air, but cosmic energy. Feel that tremendous cosmic energy is entering into you with each breath, and you're going to use it to purify your body, vital mind and heart. Feel that there is not a single place in your body that is not being occupied by the flow of cosmic energy. It's flowing like a river inside you, washing and purifying your whole being. And then, when you start to breathe out, feel that you're breathing out all the rubbish inside you, all your undivine thoughts, obscure ideas, and impure actions. Anything inside your system that you call undivine, anything that you do not want to claim as your own, feel your exhaling. I'm going to do that for 3 breaths, and then we'll take a few moments to just continue breathing, and in your own way you can use your breath. You can use it for purity. You can use it for peace. You can use it for power. You can use it for joy. You can use it for cosmic energy. So inhale cosmic energy and exhale all the rubbish inside you, undivine thoughts, obscure ideas and impure actions, anything in your system you call undivine, anything you do not want to claim as your own, feel your exhaling. So we'll do it together 3 times. Inhaling cosmic energy fill your lungs. Hold and exhale all the rubbish that you do not want to keep in your life. Slowly. Then pause. Inhale. Cosmic energy. Hold. And exhale all the things you don't want to keep. All impure thoughts, ideas, actions, and undivine elements that you want to remove. The last time, inhale, cosmic energy, and exhale all the undivine elements. And now, as we come to the end of that exercise, just breathe in your own way, your own choices of inhale, hold, exhale slowly, hold. I like a rhythm of inhale to 4, hold for 4, exhale for 8, and hold for 2. I find that works for me, but you can work out your own rhythm. Very good. Now, as we conclude the exercise, just take your breath, watch your breath, your inhale and your exhale, and just make it natural and relaxed. And then, when you're finishing the exercise, again, I like to take my attention back to my body. I'm just going to do a screenshot, because at the end of the live, and I need to do a screenshot to keep them. Bring my attention back to the exercise. Noticed my mind was wandering. Relaxed breathing. And then I like to do a bit of a stretch and a twist. Wriggle my toes and my fingers. Bringing my attention back to my body. Noticing how warm and solid it is, and gratitude for my body. And then I like to rub my hands together. I'll just put the phone down against the screen of my laptop. Rub my hands together. This is my method. You won't find it in a book, but I like to do it. Create a bit of warmth from the friction, and just rest your hands on the side of your face. Feel that conscious sense of gratitude for who I am, gratitude for my life, self-love, appreciation. And what I like to do after my exercise is just share some of my silk painting. So this week I've been really inspired to do butterflies. I got that inspiration, I think it was on Monday, and I started to paint not just the cards that I sell for Gaza, but an actual picture with butterflies on. And I'm not very happy with it because I made it a bit too busy, but this has taken all week to make, using wax for batik to block the silk threads, as well as the gutter outline. On this occasion I've used black gutter for the butterflies and the bees. But it taught me, there was a stage before I made it quite so messy and complicated. There was a stage I liked it better. So probably next week I'll start doing another one and actually use the learning that I gained from making the mistakes and make one that I can possibly even scan and print to sell. I'm really taking my art seriously at the moment because it is bringing in some income and I need it to be a lot more and a lot stronger to make it a proper business. So here's a card that I didn't sell yesterday because it wasn't quite dry. So I couldn't take it with me, and I'm glad. And this is one of my favorites so far. It took me hours. So that's a peacock butterfly. And again, I can see things I'm not happy, like it's not really symmetrical. Ideally, it would be perfectly symmetrical for the shape, not necessarily for the design, but the shape should be more symmetrical. So I'm planning to actually cut out the right shape and I can trace it over onto the silk rather than doing it by freehand. So that's my silk painting, and I did the poems in the beginning. I'll do the poems again because many people have joined since I did them. This is my little working sketchbook. I've been working on studying butterflies, as you can see, and leaves and the way that the leaves go together for some of the rose paintings that I do. A few more butterflies, notes all around them about the shapes and the colours and things like that. A few more butterflies. And, oh, this is a poem I did a couple of days ago, but it's a quotation, not a poem, but I like it a lot. I like watching YouTubes, and I was watching a YouTuber on about the Pope and some of the things that he's been doing. He's really inspiring me at the moment. And the guy who was doing the narration commented on something his grandmother used to say. So this is the commentator's grandmother's quote. Her name's Connie. The strong ones are not the ones who never bend. The strong ones are the ones who know what they will not bend for. The strong ones are not the ones who never bend. The strong ones are the ones who know what they will not bend for. And then today's breathing poems, I found 3 from my spiritual teacher, Sri Chinmoy. That was his breathing exercise I was using this morning. Imagine God's breath and try to breathe in and out with God's breath. This will definitely expedite your inner speed. A breath of my kindness God likes. A breath of my soulfulness God appreciates. A breath of my selflessness God loves. And when it comes to selflessness, it's not like you're thinking of others, not yourself, in the way that some people want to always please the people around them and they don't look after themselves and they don't love themselves enough. It's a kind of flow, I think, selflessness. You're starting with a very strong sense of self-love, and then that's flowing out to loving the world around you. And ultimately, we're all part of each other. Human beings, nature, the whole universe is one. The more you can feel that sense of oneness, it's even deeper than love in a way, because love means there's me here and then I love you. But when you feel oneness, it's like you're part of the same body, you're part of the same reality. And that's very much how I'm feeling towards Gaza. I know a lot of people say there are lots of conflicts going on in the world and lots of atrocities. Why pick on Gaza? And I think the reason for that for me is I'm British, and the British did this. It was a British colonial setup. So I'm responsible in a way that I'm not responsible for, say, I don't know, Sudan or Myanmar, I care about them, I send my love to them, but I don't feel the same intense sense of responsibility and oneness. And the other thing is that my own government is still supporting them. It's still supporting the Israelis, sending parts that they need for their aircraft and taking flights every day over Gaza, gathering, spying information. It's just heartbreaking. There's a genocide going on and I'm actually responsible. I'm culpable. I'm complicit just because I am British and it's my government that's involved as much. Not as much as America. I think America is obviously the biggest culprit, and then Germany is doing a lot, but we're not exempt from that. So it makes me feel like not just sad and angry, but actually responsible. And then, because of that pain that I felt and the grief I was feeling, I think God heard that like a prayer and blessingfully connected me with some families in Gaza. So I correspond with families in Gaza now, and Bayan is one of them. She is on the call at the moment, and Aisha will be on it. I'll be sending her the link, and also to Yasmin, who comes on it, who I've known for more than a year. We correspond almost every day. So they're part of my family now, part of my heart. So a breath of my kindness God likes, a breath of my soulfulness God appreciates, and a breath of my selflessness God loves. Finally, breathe in beauty, breathe out fragrance, to live a God-treasured life. And as well at the beginning, I always share some nature. And today, if I can reach it, I dropped it off the bed. I might drop the laptop reaching it for now. I might fall out of bed. Oh, no, I've got it. This is what I shared this morning. It's a leaf from a horse chestnut tree. And the horse chestnut tree is in my garden, and it shouldn't be. It's self-sown. And I love the size and the beauty and the texture and the shape and the patterning on the leaves. They're so courageous and strong. They're fabulous. So that was my horse chestnut leaf. And I was saying the tree is self-sown quite near to the house, so I'm going to have to cut it back. So I didn't mind stealing a leaf from it to share with you this morning. And that's all. And I've been going for more than half an hour, even though I've got no voice, which is quite clever. I wish you all a very, very, very happy day. And I hope to see you again tomorrow morning. Round about between 8 and 8:30 I start. Have a great day. Bye. Supreme gratitude, gratitude.